tragically killed after that World Cup, and we'll have more on the Escobar story at halftime.
And in midfield for Colombia, Alvarez, a player to watch. He's always looking to find Valderrama, and a very good defender too. And also 19, Rincon. Now, because of all the attention Valderrama gets, Rincon can use his long strides to get forward and attack on goal. Now, they play an interesting formation. They play a 4-2-2-2. As you can see, it's very central attack, not an awful lot of width in the attack. We'll see if that changes today, but this is traditionally the way they play. The United States has had an interesting situation in goal. They're using Friedel again. They decided before the U.S. Cup he would get 2 starts and Casey Keller 1. A solid back 4 for the U.S. And in midfield, take a look at number 16, Mike Sorber, who was a protege of Bora Milutinovic and has now come into his own very much as a playmaking midfielder. And up front, Frank Klopas, very skillful, normally a setup man, but today he'll be looking to be a striker on goal for the USA. Now, the United States plays a more traditional 4-4-2. You see 4 at the back there with Balboa, the sweeper, behind 3. 4 across midfield with Dooley, the defensive, and then 2 front runners for the USA. Now, what do these teams need to do in order to get victory today? Well, I think, first of all, let's take a look at the United States. They need to maintain their defensive concentration. Do not get mesmerized by the Colombian close control and get drawn out of position. And also, they got to continue the attacking style that's yielded them 7 goals in 2 very impressive matches. Now, the Colombians, they have got to get more shots on goal. They had 22 shots on goal against the USA this year, only 24 in the last.
The reserve is Greg Barkley from the United States. Very humid today here. Temperature in the high 70s, but the humidity 87%. And we at ABC Sports wish to thank Budweiser, MasterCard, Menon, Nike, and GTE for allowing us to bring you today's game commercial free. This segment of the game is presented commercial free by Budweiser, and we are underway. Final game of U.S. Cup 95. 9 was Arboleda there on the near side, and 14 Alvarez will send it over to the far side for the Colombians in the yellow. Harkes defensively for the United States over there, number 6 on the far side. Back to the near side, that's José Santa. He is one of the newcomers to the national team of Colombia, as Fernández will send it down. Fernández wearing number 4 across the near side touchline, and Mike Burns of the United States wearing the number 4 jersey. As you look at Valderrama, is that real, Seamus?
It's very real.
Is it real?
Apparently, it's a characteristic of the part of Colombia from which he comes. There are more of those there, believe it or not.
I'm going to get one of those wigs for you one day and
okay.
See how you look with it.
Oh, it's going to be a long afternoon. We're starting this early on hair jokes.
Dooley with the header, sends it into the middle. The United States with Mike Sorber does such a good job at controlling the ball. The jersey colors of Colombia yellow, the United States white on the scoreboard for you. As the 2 teams in the midfield area, Lalas now will send it back to Balboa, who bangs it in. That was Reyna that came up, and now Sorber will try to send it down the wing. Wynalda, the intended man out there, and Higuita also with the flowing locks. Doesn't use the same coloring, though, as Valderrama. The long ball as Lalas will shield it across the near side touchline, and quickly Lalas throws it into Brad Friedel. Caligiuri. Dooley's 5 fought off the ball right there by Mascara. Now the Colombians with a little something, and Balboa comes up with it to Dooley and Reyna. Reyna down the far side, and this is where the U.S. did the damage against Mexico. Looking to Klopas inside that time, taken away Arboleda, number 9 for the Colombians. In the middle, controls it. Rincon is 19, and they'll send it near side to José Santa, making just his 2nd international appearance. We talk about caps. That's an international appearance for your country, and he is a newcomer. Bermúdez is number 5, who is taking the place of Andres Escobar. More on that at halftime. Touch back there by Santa, and the whistle.
Yeah, pretty obvious foul there by the United States. Referee initially looked like he was going to let it go because he thought Colombia would retain possession. But here they are going central again.
Dooley gets it back to Balboa. Very solid back line for the United States of Balboa, Burns, Lalas, and Caligiuri. They've played a lot of games together. All dangerously close to going across the far side touchline. Harkes, one of the many New Jersey players on this U.S. team. Reyna also from New Jersey. Lalas, of course, played his college soccer here at Rutgers. Tab Ramos will not play today. He strained a quadricep muscle in practice on Friday as Harkes is not able to come up with it, and Alvarez will send it back.
This is what the Colombians like to do. They like to possess the ball. Look at how Valderrama comes back to get into the attack, even close to his own penalty area. He will come back and open himself up for the ball, and they know that if he does that, he better get it.
Mosquera 15 back to Valderrama. They like to put a lot of touches on it. You see it all goes back to Valderrama. That was from Rincon back to Valderrama as Manuel Fernández. And Gomez, John Jaime Gomez across the far side touchline, and it'll be a throw in as U.S. interim head coach Steve Sampson with consecutive victories. He is in the blue shirt leaning back, relaxing at this moment early in the game.
Well, I think he's pretty confident about the team's ability to handle Colombia today. I mean, he's not cocky. I don't want to get it wrong, but I think he feels the USA knows how to play this team, and the players also are very much believers in his system.
Freddie Rincon, 19, plays at Napoli over in Italy. One of the few Colombian players that plays outside of his country. Santos sent a high ball up. Rincon about 6 feet 3 inches tall, able to get above Sorber on that. And Leonel Alvarez sends it back. Alvarez wearing number 14. He's a defensive midfielder, James.
Well, they got so much attacking flair in the middle. Somebody's got to do that tough work. I mean, Tom Dooley does it for the United States, and the Colombians depend on Alvarez to some extent and Mosquera. But you see, this is where the U.S. I think has got to be looking to make some early wins. That is to get in there and dig the ball away from all this possession, while at the same time not getting too reckless, too carried away. Because if you get reckless and carried away, you open up spaces behind you, and Colombia can exploit them.
That's Rincon, 19. Sorber took him off momentarily. Now they're going to let it play on. The tackle by Lalas. Rincon still coming through. Another tackle missed. And finally, beautiful job there by Balboa to trap the ball. Colombia still trying to go, but Burns sends it down to the other end. So he was able to get through 2 defenders, and finally Balboa made the stop.
And that is the characteristic Freddie Rincon's attacking style. Look at these wonderful strides he has. A little change of pace there, and beats one player beautifully, but good, well-timed tackle by Balboa. And the U.S. having to go to ground quite a bit in these sliding tackles, Roger, which shows you that's kind of a testament to how skillful and how the Colombian players are and how quickly they can get away from defenders.
Fernández sends it back to Santa on the near side, and Wynalda bounced it off Rincon, and they'll give it to Colombia.
Yeah.
Let's check in with Desmond Armstrong. Desmond?
Yes, Roger. The Colombian team is wearing a black ribbon on their left sleeve. Each of the players are wearing it as a testimony to a Colombian sports writer by the name of Carlos Arturo Rueda. He's dead and dedicating this game to him.
Now Lalas and Rincon after the tackle by Lalas getting into it. Lalas had the finger up pointing it at Rincon. The whistle was blown.
Well, this is the second challenge, I think, that Lalas has had on Rincon. We saw one a couple of minutes ago. And pretty fierce challenge. He does have his back to it, but now he's turning face on. And Rincon, I think, is feeling that he himself had turned his back and was shielding the ball, and therefore that was a dangerous tackle from behind that, you know, that they're trying to get out of the game of soccer, and certainly were in World Cup '94 attempting to do.
Looked like the scissor trap there by Lalas. The U.S. with 3 fouls so far early in this game, none for the Colombians, as Reyna doing battle back there with Bermúdez. Bermúdez just making his 4th appearance on the national level for Colombia. They've got some very young players, even though they have a number of players, Seamus, that played in World Cup '94. They have a lot of youngsters here.
Yes, they do. Only 3 players on the starting 11 here for Colombia played against the United States a year ago.
Harkes, the ball off the head as Sorber will send it to the near side, and Mike Burns loses it momentarily and safely plays it back to Lalas. Lalas wears number 22.
Players losing their footing a lot, Roger. I wonder if they've got the right kind of shoes on down there. We might see if Desmond can see anything about that. It is a soft turf, and you probably need those good studs to get the firm grip. And with a bit of rain on it, that complicates the problem. So we'll see if they make any changes.
Santa is number 2. He sends it up to Arboleda. He was the 2nd leading scorer in the Colombian League with 16 goals this past year, playing for Deportivo Cali.
Well, so far, Rod, you'd have to say that the U.S. attacking style hasn't really shown itself yet. It's been a patient kind of game so far for the U.S.
Let's check back in with Desmond.
Roger, Steve Sampson's off the bench right now and telling his American team to push the ball forward to the flanks as quickly as possible to capitalize on the counterattack. He's also saying for the defense to step up a little higher to compact the space so that Colombia cannot move through it.
All right, Desmond, thank you very much. Desmond very close to the U.S. bench and will be able to pick up all of those instructions from Coach Steve Sampson. That's Harkes on the far side. Rincon chasing him down over there. Klopas. Of course, Klopas did not play in the game against Mexico. Sends it inside the header, and an excellent opportunity for the United States right there as Tom Dooley came busting through.
Well, this is what we talk about the flank attack. It's very important to get down the wings against Colombia. And Dooley, of course, is the surprise forward, if you will, the man who appears out of nowhere. He's not well marked. Look, he makes a good diving header here. I think Tom will be a little unhappy that he didn't get that more towards ground level. There's another foul by Caligiuri. And this might be a warning on Caligiuri. Let's see. Yeah, it's a verbal warning to Caligiuri and no card.
The play is back in very quickly. Now, wait a second. The referee's holding his hand up and saying, no, we don't start that fast. He was making the verbal warning.
That's right.
To Caligiuri, so they've got to come back to the spot of the foul now to start the ball.
Well, the advantage for Klopas being up front there, we saw him, is that he's so skillful one-on-one that it's good to have him wide because he can beat players one-on-one.
So Colombia, Alvarez sends it to Santa, their side, and the trip right there. Wynalda tripped him up. And look at now, Wynalda is having some words with Alvarez.
Well, I think Wynalda fouled.
That's for, Alvarez, number 14.
Yeah, I think Wynalda did commit the foul. He's claiming that Santa took a dive.
Off the head of Rincon, and Friedel will come out and gather it in. Brad Friedel playing in the Danish Super League as of January with Brøndby, and got himself into one of the first team games and had a shutout and a scoreless tie. Played on the reserve team throughout the year, played about 2 games a week, and this is very valuable experience for him. Now Caligiuri with a decision to make here as he controls the ball over there against Gomez.
Was out of play. A bad back pass from John Harkes put Caligiuri in some trouble, and the Colombians doing a good job pinning the Americans on the touchline in the middle of the field in order to prevent the counterattack that Desmond Armstrong has been talking about.
That's Cabrera, 13 for Colombia, battling. Now he takes a fall, no call. Reyna sends it to Harkes, who gets it to Sorber in the middle. Sorber sends it down to Reyna. Klopas right there on top. Nice move there. Oh, cleared out by Santa. And the tackle on the far side. Ball's loose. Rincon gets up, and now the official having some words with one of the Colombian players. Looks like Cabrera over there.
Yeah, I think Cabrera obviously unhappy with the quality of the tackle attempt over by that far sideline by Harkes. But here's Sorber now. Sorber pushes the ball through here. A good ball placed right to Reyna, who immediately released it to Klopas. And Klopas does well to turn inside, but his touch on that was just a little bit too heavy. But a good effort by Frank Klopas and good first-time passing, an intelligent early release by Reyna because he saw Klopas wide open and steaming into the penalty area.
Ball sent down by Wynalda. Klopas running onto it. We saw Sorber with some nice work a moment ago. You notice the soft cast on his left wrist, chipped to bone in the game against Nigeria. He has been rock solid in the middle for the United States, and that's where this game is going to be played, as the United States and Colombia scoreless here, as we're about 13 minutes plus into this first half. United States with a win or a tie today, and tripped up Valderrama, tripped up Reyna in the midfield, but a win or a tie, and the United States wins U.S. Cup 95. Caligiuri and Cabrera now back inside to Bermúdez, and he will send it near side to Santa. Rincon up to the middle, nobody there as Balboa will come up. Klopas, who did not play the last game because he received 2 yellow cards in the game against Nigeria, was kicked out of that game, and the U.S. had to play 1 man down to pick up that 3-2 win. So had to sit out the game against Mexico. Back in this game today, and Roy Wegerle, by the way, who scored that first goal for the U.S., as Klopas sending it across, and Santa was able to trap it off his hip. Wegerle is out for the rest of the summer with nerve damage in his foot. And Ernie Stewart on vacation and not available, as Arboleda, number 9, on the near side. They send it back across, trapped off the chest there. Ball inside as Gomez got a piece of it, but Cabrera and Gomez doing some work on the far side.
And that is interesting to see. You mentioned Cabrera, Roger, who's the right fullback for Colombia, and that's one of the things they want to get done. They want to try to get the right fullback Cabrera, the left fullback Santa, to go forward and provide some width in the attack of in their 4-2-2 style. Once again, another player falls down.
After Reyna just made a nice touch off his back heel, Sorber slipped down. We had quite a bit of rain last night, and yesterday at practices, Rincon sends a blast in, and Friedel right there to cover it up. Brad Friedel, a native of Lakewood, Ohio, who attended UCLA, 6'3", 190 pounds, and getting some valuable experience. And Desmond, have you been able to discern why these guys are slipping out there?
I sure have. Some of the players, or most of the players, are wearing molded shoes. And since it did rain yesterday, the field is very soft, like we mentioned before, and they need 6 studded shoes so they can maintain their grip and their composure on top of the ball.
Well, that's what we were suspecting a bit, because there was some discussion at the training field here yesterday at the training session about the best shoes. But since that training session, there was the rain, as you mentioned, and they're finding out the hard way that some of them, bad mistake there.
Yeah, and Reyna's got it. Wynalda coming from behind. Wynalda's got the ball in the area, runs past the man, and is tripped up.
Oh my Lord.
No call.
You know something? I look at the referee. I don't think he was looking over there. I think he was looking towards the goal. I think he missed that completely.
He had to miss it completely, Seamus.
This is definitely a penalty. Ball is played in. There's the touch. He goes by, and he's just chopped down. It's just a blatant penalty.
Now, Valderrama. Knocked back by Balboa. Good idea by the United States is Wynalda, with 3 men around him. Sorber loses it in the middle to Valderrama. And there's Carlos Valderrama. It has been rumored that the Major League Soccer is interested in signing him. Valderrama's 33 years of age. No score here between the United States and Colombia. Colombia has scored just 1 goal in 2 games. Seamus, has that been because the other teams have played great defense, or their offense just hasn't been up?
Well, I think, Roger, there has not been a great sense of urgency about the play of Colombia in their first 2 matches. A little bit against perhaps Mexico, but certainly they did not look to me like a team that was really treating these matches as really important for their development. And they're still very much going central. You see, there's another interception because they try to find Rincon. And the wing defender, we mentioned a minute ago, Cabrera was wide open on the far side. They wouldn't play it out to him. They're still trying to go down the middle.
Desmond Armstrong?
Roger, Steve Sampson was truly incensed by the lack of a call for a penalty shot. He actually jumped over the billboards to talk to the sideline referee to say that definitely was a penalty kick and he should have called it.
Well, there was no question. We saw it on the replay. He's absolutely right. That should have been a penalty kick for the United States, as Klopas surrounded by 3 players over there. Colombia able to get it out into the midfield area. Gomez touched it off to Valderrama, but Dooley with a beautiful tackle and sends it back to Caligiuri.
And a very, very important tackle, I should have to say, because if Dooley doesn't make that tackle, then Valderrama is in full flight on a 3v3 situation, 3 against 3 situation at the center of the U.S. defense, and that's what the U.S. has got to avoid.
Throw in. Harkes doing battle over there. Cabrera with the elbow. Harkes sends it across. Wynalda off the head, and Higuita with the save. So a couple of pretty good chances for the United States.
Well, a great cross from Harkes all the way over the top, and give credit also to Wynalda for going way over his defender to get that good header on goal.
And of course, Wynalda says much easier to head the ball now with no hair on my head anymore. Well, a nice touch there by Klopas, but Bermúdez is able to clear it out, and Lalas running down. Burns. Caligiuri. This segment of the game was presented commercial-free by MasterCard. I'm Roger Twyba along with Seamus Mallon and Desmond Armstrong down on the sideline here at Rutgers Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey. No score between the United States and Colombia.
Well, Roger, so far I think the U.S. has looked at its most dangerous when they've been able to exploit some opennesses in the flanks. And
this is Gomez. Balboa back there with him. Lalas heads it back out, but right at Gomez, who traps it off his chest, and Balboa gets it back on it. Sorber sends it out. Looked like Alvarez was going to try to volley it in and waited on it, and now Reyna will take it to Harkes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was really sweet right there. From behind, Harkes is taken down, and Colombia gets it back. Desmond, how patient can Colombia be? Do they get frustrated after a certain point in time if they don't get their offense going?
Well, that's a good point, because the coach has just been telling them to keep their cool, to stay patient and not lose their cool by not getting into the offense. As the game goes on, you're going to find that they're going to get more and more frustrated because they're not really penetrating the goal.
That was a great tackle by Dooley to take it from Valderrama, and here comes Wynalda from Reyna. Wynalda slips right outside the area.
Too bad for Eric there. He had some help inside. He opted to go one-on-one, which is, you know, what you want strikers to do from time to time, and not just make give the responsibility off to somebody else. He took it on, but his footing let him down.
Harkes sends it inside. The touch by Reyna. Klopas, and is brought down there by Jorge Bermúdez, number 5.
What a great touch by Reyna as we look at Klopas. Reyna is there to serve Klopas, to get him those nice little touches the way he did against Mexico. Look at that lovely little touch. It sits up there nicely, and Klopas not quite able to beat Bermúdez to it.
First corner kick for the United States. Swerving ball. Lalas! Oh, goodness. So close for Alexi Lalas. And don't you know, on this homecoming day for him at Rutgers University, he would love to put one away. Boy, Harkes sent a beautiful ball in there that time.
And Lalas amazingly gets into some space, finds the space there out in front, and makes perfect contact. And I must say, Higuita, the goalkeeper, was nowhere to be found there. He was in no man's land, as you say, came out, has no chance of the ball, and left the net wide open. And if Lalas had just been able to direct it a little bit more towards the corner, that would have been the first goal. But now watch Higuita. Higuita goes way, way up, but doesn't get anywhere near the ball whatsoever. I mean, such a terrible misjudgment on the flight of the ball, because he was thinking it was going to clear Lalas's head, and Lalas, of course, is very easily able to get to that for a heading opportunity.
Sorber battling with Arboleda, and Rincon will take it back. Cabrera to Valderrama, number 10, as Alvarez 14, and a little two-man game there. Beautifully done. Cabrera came into the middle. Rincon wanted to shoot it. Now he does. And just a foot save right there and cleared out by Burns. It looked like that shot went off Alexi Lalas. And now sliding Burns. And they're going to give a corner to Colombia, but some great help for Friedel on that play.
Wow. This is Freddie Rincon with that dangerous right foot. It hits Lalas on the shoulder. And a great reaction by Friedel.
Corner taken. Friedel out high and gathers it in. So as we saw in the Mexico game, when Dooley was able to help out Keller, Friedel now is down.
Yeah, I think he either got kicked by a player who went by him, or he's just pulled a muscle.
He's back up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible to see here, but good. Yeah, he got kicked to the back of the leg just by a player going by him. I think it was unintentional. Or it looked from this angle like Bermúdez hit him unintentionally.
And Casey Keller, who had the shutout against Mexico in his first appearance for the national team for the United States in over 3 years, last Sunday against Mexico.
And he is, of course, today the backup goalkeeper. We should mention that 4 substitutes are allowed in this tournament. and including the goalkeeper. There's no special substitution rule for the goalkeeper. Just 4 players, field players or the goalkeeper.
Wynalda to Claudio Reyna. Reyna from New Jersey. This is such a great soccer area. They turned out so many terrific players through the years in the United States. And there's a slip right there, and the takedown on the far side. Bermúdez slipped, and then it appeared as though he grabbed Klopas as he went by. And there's a push down from behind on Balboa, and the foul being called.
Frank Klopas looking like he has a chance here. Well, I think...
Well, it looked like he put his shoulder into him as he went by. Klopas, who plays in the first division over in Greece, was born in Athens, grew up in the Chicago area. As Caligiuri will send it now to Mike Burns. Burns will take the blast from outside and just wide. Well, we don't get to see Mike Burns take too many shots. He has not scored a goal in his 27 international appearances for the United States. But not a bad idea every once in a while to take one from out there, Seamus.
No, not at all, because the Higuita was way over to the far side of the goal when that ball was launched. It was just a little off target. Higuita, I think, has lost a step or two in his movement and his anticipation.
See the shots on goal, 4 for the United States, Colombia with 3. Both teams have had very good chances.
Well, Wynalda had a good header on goal. Lalas had a good header. No question there should have been a penalty kick for the United States. But you've got to put that out of your mouth if you're a player. You got to just keep on going.
Time of possession fairly even.
Yeah.
Now the Colombians just in the midfield area, getting themselves.
Colombia still sorts to play on a 55-yard wide field. They rarely go wide, and there's an interception that hurts them.
Dooley took it away from Mascara. Thomas Dooley with Klopas over on the wing finally gets it over to him, but way behind. And Klopas now will have to chase it down. Sends a low ball in there, and that was Mascara, 15. He sends it out, and Balboa will head it back. So no score between the United States and Colombia as Reyna the touch, and Harkes not able to come up with it. And Valderrama will get it to Rincon.
He's always there, Valderrama. He's always in the right spot for the early release pass.
Lalas battling over with Gomez. Well, this is some good stuff right here.
Yeah, great.
Eric Wynalda. And he is hit with an elbow from John Jaime Gomez. And they shake hands, and a yellow card delivered.
I think it's Alvarez, actually.
Excuse me, you're right, Leonel Alvarez.
Yeah.
Now the yellow card, the first handed out, and if Alvarez would get a second, he would be kicked out of the game.
That's right.
And the Colombians would have to play a man short.
Lalas putting some good upper body pressure on there.
That was Gomez there, number 16
That's
on
right.
that play.
And winning the ball nicely. And then a quick release out.
So Burns with the free kick and cleared out by Rincon. Nice touch as Caligiuri will send it back into Friedel.
Now we'll take a look here at Wynalda cutting inside. He touches the ball away, and
oh yeah, you can see
very obvious elbow, and Wynalda made absolutely sure with a little bit of a dive at the end of it, but he clearly was fouled.
No score between the United States and Colombia. We've had some excellent chances so far in the first half here from Rutgers, as we are better than halfway through the first half.
Great touch from Reyna there on a difficult pass from Dooley.
Wynalda has it, trying to split through 2 men, tackled from behind. That was Alvarez, the initial man, and then Manuel Fernández goes down and is grabbing his left knee. And Wynalda's going up, say, hey, no harm, no foul, nothing meant there.
Yeah, I don't quite understand what happened there, because it looked like it was a foul by Wynalda, but at the ankle level, let's see if we can see it. Wynalda taking on 2 players, tries to split them, doesn't quite do it, but almost pull it off. And there he does get him at the ankle, no question. But he's coming up holding his knee.
Well, the magic sponge and bucket have been brought out by the Colombian trainers.
Wynalda obviously is a very key attacker for the United States. He's playing on the right side of midfield, and they try to get the ball to him as much as possible. And Reyna, who's listed as a forward, as we look at that replay again.
It looked like the cleats of Wynalda might have caught his shin, but
yeah,
most of these players do wear the shin pads. Seamus. Let's go down to Desmond Armstrong.
Steve Sampson just had a brief word with Eric Wynalda, telling him to check back to the ball, come back towards the midfield and receive it. And as he checks back, a Columbia defender will follow him, and then there'll be some space behind him. Then the ball will be played behind. They'll be free on the flanks and allow him the chance for a one-on-one opportunity on goal.
Interesting strategy, and of course that's what they were trying to get Ernie Stewart to do when he was playing that position. Ernie on a bit of a rest at the moment, but Wynalda doing a good job, although he has committed 3 fouls
Ernie's
already.
Got some time off, vacationing after a long year of playing overseas. Played in the initial game against Nigeria. There's John Harkes, who had some minor surgery, had a vein in his leg removed from his left leg after his season over in England, and that was about a month ago, but back and showing no ill effects. As Sorber takes it in the middle, Sorber sending it down, Dooley trying to run onto it in the area, and the ball up in the air. Cabrera with the header, headed back out. Reyna able to trap it. Boy, I'll tell you what, Dooley chips it in. And it just seemed like a bunch of people were standing around a little indecisive what to do with it. Now the ball comes loose and Harkes has it. Harkes sends it inside. Wynalda got a foot on it. And now it's cleared out. Valderrama and Burns battle. Burns runs onto it. Wynalda now chases it. Wynalda.
Yeah, Wynalda banging his hand against his head, saying, stupid, stupid, Eric. Not a good hit. Not a good crossing ball.
Let's check in with Desmond again.
Roger Gomez, the Colombian coach, has been telling his defenders to step up on Eric Wynalda a little bit higher. They're giving him too much room because he is getting too many one-on-one duels on the flank.
There's the coach for Colombia. New to the job. He was not with the team, obviously. The disappointing results of World Cup '94. Reyna from Klopas, and Reyna just got beat to the ball by Bermúdez that time. And it'll be a throw-in for the United States.
But, you know, the U.S. still is finding those soft spots in the Colombian defense along the flanks and a little bit inside.
Sorber sends it across. Klopas slips, and they're not going to be able to do anything about the cleats till halftime. It's a fact they're going to have to live with here in the first half.
But they sure as heck better do something at halftime, because this is really hurting them.
The United States has had pretty good control of this situation. One brief attack by the Colombians, as Harkes will send it to Klopas, and Bermúdez, the big man, with a beautiful tackle. He's a good-looking young player, 6 feet 3 inches tall, just 21 years of age. Dooley, Reyna taken away there, and Alvarez has it. Now Rincon. Long ball. Nice job there by Arboleda. Sent into Gomez. Lalas is checking him. And off of Alexi Lalas, but John Jaime Gomez gets it back. And Lalas battling.
Yeah. Referee, the linesman on the far side has called a foul there. Now that is Alexi Lalas' Italian experience showing itself. A year ago, he would have been in trouble in a situation against a skillful player like that, but he has the confidence to go outside the penalty area, not buy any of these fakes and dekes and so forth, and holds his ground very well, does not get to the ball play between his legs. And the referee has decided, the linesman saw an elbow out there and gave a free kick to Lalas, but very professional heads-up play by Alexi Lalas.
Desmond, can you tell the level that your teammates on this national team have taken their game to from going overseas and playing at the international game?
It's a tremendous difference in the way that they approach each game. They have a world of confidence. It's a matter of going abroad, playing in a professional league, and then coming back and knowing that you have already done that and stepping on the field and saying, hey, I've already been there. It's not a big deal to me anymore. Let's go out here and play the game of soccer.
El Balboa plays with Leon in Mexico. Of course, Harkes at Derby County over in England. And there's the United States bench. The players looking on. The sun has come out here. And Santa is able to clear it out for the Colombians.
Yeah, very good clearance by Santa. Difficult ball. He did very well to get it away.
Reyna battling with Mascara. And the U.S. I think has controlled this midfield area fairly well, Seamus.
Yeah. They have done what they were intending to do, which is to prevent those quick interpassing opportunities over the halfway line and pick off some early passes too.
Harkes will send it down and Higuita will let it go.
Look at the number of times the United States team has intercepted passes in Harkes' position. John Harkes ghosting into a free space there and winning that ball. Dooley has done it. Caligiuri has done it. Sorber has done it. They pick up a lot of errant passes out of the back, and which tells you that Colombians are still very much at their best when they're going the 15-yard close passing, and the minute they hit it longer, it's a little bit 50-50.
No score between the United States and Colombia as you see Higuita ascended down. Yeah, he's an interesting thing about him. He's got 36 goals on penalties in his career.
And he's now been taking free kicks. Not just penalty kicks, but he took a free kick recently, scored it.
About 3 weeks ago.
That's right. And the interesting thing is the goalkeeper he scored against, 8 minutes later, got a penalty kick himself against Higuita and scored it. I tell you, Colombian soccer is a world to itself. It really is with the sort of flamboyant goalkeeping styles.
Manuel Fernández, number 4, sends it down to the near side, and the United States, Mike Burns, Rincon, and Wynalda wins the header there. And there's Valderrama, number 10. 15 is Mascara. He's also in the middle. Rincon, number 19.
Always Valderrama. He's always around the ball. Now look at, he's got his hands out saying, come on, come on, somebody come to me.
That was Alvarez, 14. It'll send it over to Jorge Bermúdez, and Cabrera, 13.
There's Valderrama again.
They just sort of move it around in circles or triangles as they try to move it up the field. As Sorber sends it near side, he looked at Wynalda and wondered where he was at.
Yeah, Wynalda just hesitated to go.
Now, Alvarez. Lalas misses the tackle, but Caligiuri was there to back him up. Reyna sends it to Harkes. Harkes from Kearney, New Jersey. Reyna from Livingston, New Jersey. Burns and off Rincon. Let's check in with Desmond.
The word down here is to pressure, to move up. When they win the ball, to move up on offense. And when they don't have the ball, to step up pressure on Colombia's attack, to not allow them to gain any type of rhythm in the game.
All right, Desmond, thank you very much. Burns attempting to throw, and he threw it right at the Colombian player, Gomez. And now Lalas gets it back to Marcelo Balboa. Caligiuri. Cabrera, number 13, on the far side, being chased. Gomez. And the U.S. is able to take it away as Harkes clears it. This segment of the game is presented commercial-free by Menon. No score between the United States and Colombia. The first half from Rutgers Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey. Roger Twibell, Seamus Mallon, Desmond Armstrong with you as time winding down in the first half. About 9 minutes, 8-9 minutes left to go.
U.S. got to worry a little bit about one-against-one matchups at their back. Caligiuri has done quite well so far in winning a couple of key tackles back there, as has Balboa. But Colombia is awfully good up front, and if you get into a one-on-one situation and they beat you, then they've got a straight route to goal.
Seamus, it looks like they get in the circle, and then they have Valderrama sort of running back through the middle along with Alvarez, and then they come to the outside, then go back to the middle, and it just sort of moves like a wave up the field.
Yeah, and there's a good ball from
Rincon sends it down, but Caligiuri clears it out to Harkes, who gets it back to Lalas, and now it'll come back into the area, and Friedel directing traffic back there.
One of the things that you've got to be careful about as a defense is that if you focus too much on Valderrama, as I mentioned at the top, then Freddie Rincon gets the room, gets the space to work in, as he did just then, and almost put a defense beating pass through. But again, Caligiuri covered up nicely for Balboa.
That's Caligiuri. He played in every minute of World Cup 90 and 94, the only U.S. player to do that. He's been solid as a rock back there. He's 31 years of age. He's from Westminster, California. Currently playing with the LA Salsa in the U.S. ISL. But has his sights on Major League Soccer.
And he was very much out of favor in 1993. Boran Milutinovic sort of didn't want to know about him for quite a while after he had been playing overseas, and there was some question about his attitude and so forth and so on. But when he finally got into the side, he was so hungry to play, he did very well.
Harkes takes it away. Very humid here today. Temperature in the high 70s, but the humidity up around 90% as Reyna will chip it into Dooley off the head. Reyna the shot! Save! Higuita!
I think the offside flag went up before that too, but what a great save by Higuita. Maybe he is back after all, but that was a very confident shot from Claudio Reyna, the New Jersey product. Dooley playing up front as a kind of a striker, and then this good half volley and a good stretching save by Higuita.
And Seamus said the offside flag was up.
Yeah, I think Klopas was in an offside position when the ball was played into Dooley, and the flag went up.
Yeah, so Higuita will take care of it out of the area rather than having a corner there. Powerful leg. Sends that ball about 65, 70 yards downfield. Now Valderrama dangerous. Arboleda off the back of Balboa. Now Friedel coming out, dangerous situation. Friedel jumps on the line and gathers it in.
You see him holding the ball on the line. It does very well there because the entire ball, as you know, has to be over the entire line before it's out of play. So Friedel did very well to get over there. This is a carom that created a problem coming back to Valderrama. Here he comes diving out. Almost gotten away by Gomez, but you see him holding it right on the line there. That's in play.
That's where that 38-inch sleeve that Brad Friedel has comes to advantage.
Yeah.
He was telling me yesterday, he says, I have a 16 neck and a 38-inch sleeve. I have a hard time finding shirts off the rack.
Well, he stands under the goal and puts up his arms. He looks like a condor.
Ball inside. Higuita comes out to get it. Coming up next here on ABC Sports, former champion Roger Mayweather meets undefeated title holder Kostya Tszyu. Will go down under Australia for the IBF welterweight crown. And then the Top Fuel Dragsters, Pro Stocks and Funny Cars, won in Ohio at the NHRA Oldsmobile Spring Nationals. That's all today here on ABC Sports. No score here between the United States and Colombia as Cabrera will send it inside. Sorber heads it out.
First attack from the wing of Colombia that we've seen in about 35 minutes. And not a very good cross from Cabrera. Maybe that's why they don't do it more.
Santa in the middle there, tangled up. Arboleda, and the shot is wide. I'll tell you, Balboa and neither Arboleda got all tangled up that time.
Yeah, well, as I said, these one-against-one situations, if Colombia can isolate one-against-one, they can do some damage. Here's the ball put through to here. You see it's one-against-one here, but he recovers faster, and there's no covering player getting there early enough to block the shot. That's what the U.S. has got to worry about. You cannot get yourself into a one-against-one tussle anywhere near the goal. You've got to have cover at all times.
There's a leg of Brad Friedel. And Wynalda not able to go up and get it. Sent back inside. Klopas trying to run onto it, but Bermúdez is there. And he gets it out of the corner. Lalas got a piece of it.
Yeah,
so Dooley will take it in midfield.
Excellent header by Lalas, winning it and finding Dooley.
Burns to Wynalda. Mike Burns and Sampson up on the bench shouting some instructions. Desmond. Reyna taken down, and the ball cleared across the end line by Manuel Fernández, and we got a corner kick coming up for the United States as Wynalda will come over.
You know, there's so much slippage out there that the referee's got also a tough decision. He's got to decide if somebody really has been hit and tackled down illegally, or is just simply losing his footing.
Well, let's see if Lalas can come up with something this time. On the corner from Eric Wynalda. Lalas tried to get up there, and it's cleared out by the Colombians, but now the U.S. gets it back as Burns was able to get it. Wynalda and headed out once again by the defense, and here comes the dangerous situation as Arboleda is along there, number 9, and 16 Gomez, and The contact and Caligiuri right in the middle of things.
Well, another absolutely critical saving tackle by Caligiuri. He's had about 4 or 5 of them in this first half.
No score between the United States and Colombia. The final game of U.S. Cup 95. The United States with a win or a tie today would win this U.S. Cup 95. Colombia, Nigeria, and Mexico, the other teams. I'm Roger Twibell along with Seamus Mallon and Desmond Armstrong as Cabrera has it. Beautiful move there. Chipping it as Arboleda now will run it down. Trying to send it back, and Wynalda comes up with the steal.
Good read by Eric Wynalda.
Klopas battling for it as we're coming to the end of the first half here at Rutgers Stadium, this newly renovated stadium. Beautiful field down below, but the players with the wrong cleats apparently. A lot of slipping going on as Mosquera running onto the ball, sending it back to the middle. Lalas heads it out. Great job there as Gomez was the man that the ball was intended for.
Remind you that the official time
as we come back to the other end.
Field of play by the referee.
So some added pressure now by Colombia in these last couple of minutes of the first half, about 2 minutes to go. This is an important situation for the U.S. to weather this storm. You never want to give a goal away in the last 3 minutes of the half if you can possibly avoid it. And having had those good chances on goal the U.S. has had, you certainly don't want to go in a goal down.
Well, it's a little different from their 2 previous games in U.S. Cup 95. They got 2 goals in the first half against Nigeria, 3 goals last Sunday against Mexico. They've had a couple of good chances, plus the situation in the penalty area where it appeared to be a very clear foul against Colombia, and a penalty kick should have been taken, but wasn't called. And the foul here, Seamus.
Yeah, Alexi Lalas is called for the foul. Reyna has come to the sideline for some water.
2 or 3 times I've seen him come over to the sideline for water. Very humid here today. As we had very little stoppage time here in the first half. Arboleda, dangerous situation, save, and Lalas able to clear it out. Great job there by Friedel, and then he got help from his teammates.
Boy, tremendous. Again, that reach you talked about, Roger, that's what saved him. A shorter arm, and he would not have been able to get to that. But again, a very good jump by Arboleda, who I think went way over the top of Burns on that header.
I told him he keeps playing at the level he's been playing, he'll be able to buy custom-made shirts. So Friedel comes up big as we're coming down to the close of the first half here at Rutgers Stadium. And the United States moving the ball around the midfield area. And Wynalda expecting a longer ball from Burns. Now the Colombians, and that's the end of the first half. The Colombians anxious to move back down the field again. And Harkes talking to the referee.
Whereas at halftime, basically he told them to short the defense, really to move forward and close off the space behind them, and then to play the balls to the flanks again, which they were successful in doing in the first half.
It looks like number 3 is coming on, and number 6. 6 is Gaviria.
And Mendoza's number 3.
3 is Mendoza.
As we started the second half, the United States and Colombia for U.S. Cup 95. The United States with a win or a tie today captured the title. Colombia needs to beat the United States. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. So the substitutes, as Seamus said, Gaviria,
yeah.
number 6, and number 3, Alexis Mendoza.
Mendoza in for number 4, Manuel Fernández, who has gone off. And in the midfield, I think it's... I see if Mosquera has left the field. I don't see Mosquera out there in the midfield, so his place has been taken by Gaviria. Gaviria is a number 6 player, a very good attacking player too. Everybody from Colombia is a good attacking player. It's redundant, really, but he's a very strong midfield player.
Second half, as Freddie Rincon sends it over to Bermúdez. 6 right there is Gaviria. Dangerous ball as Harkes will chase it down. And it'll be a throw in for the United States. 13 there, Wilmer Cabrera. That was John Harkes. Cabrera number 13. He was on the '94 World Cup team but did not play here in the United States. Chanting starting by supporters of Colombia. Big Colombian contingent here in New Jersey now supporting their team today. And Sam's Army, which is the new fan club for the U.S. team. Seamus.
That's right. Named after Uncle Sam, of course. With franchises growing faster than fast food places.
Colombia. 19, Freddie Rincon in the middle. Sent it near side. That's Cabrera, who was running onto the ball, but Caligiuri and Harkes were there defensively. Dangerous situation. Gomez sending it inside, and Friedel goes high to get it as Arbolita, the man who has really been coming through with some chances, fell down on that play. Wynalda back at the other end. Eric Wynalda running through traffic, trips, and they say play on.
Well, Eric Wynalda taking a little page out of Colombia's book there, as starting as a wide attacker and then cutting into the traffic a little bit. But I think, you know, Eric is the kind of player who, if he sees a chance to make a good solo run, take players on, he will do it. He has the skill to do it. But he needs to vary a little bit next time to serve it up, as he did just then.
Klopas traps it off his chest back to Reyna, and Sorber sends it near side to Harkes. Harkes has got the leg from out there and over the top. Similar spot to where he hit the goal against Nigeria. So let's check out the lineup as you look at Higuita, the keeper, and the substitutes, Cabrera and Mendoza. At the lineup for Colombia.
We saw Higuita there. I got to tell you, I hate those long pants. Goalkeepers in long pants, I think indoors it's fine, outdoors, come on. Put on a pair of shorts like everybody else.
Cobi Jones is on the sideline for the United States, warming up, looking to get into the game. At the end of the first half, we saw Reyna come over several times to the sideline for water as the Colombians now on the attack. That's Cabrera, 13, who has it to Rincon, 19. And there's Cobi Jones talking to Steve Sampson, his coach. So Jones, who has battled some ankle problems during U.S. Cup 95, came on in the last game after Wegerle was hurt. Nice move by Rincon there, and Arbolita couldn't come up with it as Wynalda takes it on the far side to Claudio Reyna, but the sliding tackle sends it back to Burns.
Another good tackle by Caligiuri. He's made, as I said, at least half a dozen now key tackles. Interesting to see who Jones will be coming in for, because he's a wide attacker. And, you know, I'm curious to see what sort of decision they're making this early into the second half.
Dooley sends it back to Caligiuri, who sends a high ball down to Klopas, who can't get up for it, but loose behind, dangerous situation. Sliding for it is Reyna, but it's cleared out, and Dooley will keep it in play for the United States as Harkes now. On the near side, 2 men on him, and it's cleared out, and they're going to give it to Colombia.
Frank Klopas is going to come out, I think. There's the team as we now have it, but I think at the bottom of your screen, number 14, Frank Klopas, is going to come out, and Jones is going to replace him. And that has to be, I think, well, we'll find out from Desmond, but my guess is something must have happened in the second half. So you don't start a player and then take him out after 5 minutes unless there's something up.
Klopas over in the Greek First Division plays in the right midfield, and he was playing up front today. You know, he had been a prolific scorer for the United States, as we see Cobi Jones, who was born in Detroit, Michigan, but grew up in Westlake Village, California. Cobi scored the third goal for the United States against Nigeria in their win, 3-2.
And I think he will play on the far side of midfield, where Wynalda has been playing as Balboa gets taken down. So Wynalda is now going up to play in Klopas' spot way up top. So Wynalda will be the lead striker, with Reyna behind him.
Desmond Armstrong, what about the change?
The change really revolves around Cobi Jones coming in and utilizing the speed that he has, moving Eric Wynalda forward and Cobi Jones to the right-hand side. Steve Sampson told Cobi to check back to the ball, then have the ball played over top, and then beat the defender on the foot race to get to the ball and exploit the flanks.
Sorber controlling the ball there in midfield. Cabrera, number 6, who just came in, was behind him as Caligiuri sends it down, looking for Wynalda, but that was Bermúdez. Harkes was grabbed from behind. It looked like Cabrera got a hold of his jersey and grabbed him from behind.
Well, and also Tom Dooley was bursting through the middle there and yelling for the ball, was wide open. If Harkes could have heard him or seen him. But Cabrera was all over him, as you mentioned, pulling him and trying to knock him off stride. And eventually he succeeded in that.
Throw in there by Caligiuri. Wynalda. And Valderrama takes it away. Dangerous situation here. Gomez. Caligiuri coming from behind, and a good job by Caligiuri to get back. Rincon, Valderrama by himself over there. Chipped inside. Friedel comes out. Lalas with the defensive play, and Friedel comes up with it.
Ooh. All of that from one simple little bad pass way back in Colombia's end. That shows you how fast they can counterattack and take advantage of mistakes. A bad ball from Wynalda. Balboa was caught out of position.
And it was Gomez, the man who was in there nearest the ball.
And a nice little touch from Valderrama. And Lalas does get there. Doesn't get the powerful clearance on it that he wanted. But another desperate situation for the U.S. saved by a good tackle.
Harkes on the near side as the United States moves up. Gaviria there, number 6. Look at that action by Reyna. Reyna. Harkes. Jones was also there. There's Jones.
Offside.
The flag goes up offside. They had something working for a moment.
And actually, Harkes intercepted the pass that was going through to Jones that would have sent him in.
Quickly back to the other end. This is Gomez giving chase with Balboa back there as he sends it across the near side touchline. A throw in for Colombia. Valderrama will take the throw in. Taking a sweet time about it, I might add. Ball bounces off of Harkes and giving chase there Alvarez. Back to Santa. Santa to Rincon. Back to Santa, and Balboa clears it out across the far side. This segment of the game is presented commercial free by Nike. Before you say it, I'll say it. Sometime during the game, here comes Santa. That's José Santa, 24-year-old wearing number 2, Rincon number 19 there, and there is Santa right there. Dangerous situation. Valderrama got it momentarily. Now he's got it back. He sends it in weakly, and it's cleared out to the side as Harkes will chase it down.
Ironically, here comes
slip
again. Yeah, more slip.
Reyna slipped, Harkes slipped.
If there's one man you want to have on the ball in the box with a shooting opportunity for the U.S., that is, it's Valderrama, because he's not a very good finisher. He's a great setup man, but not known for being a good shooter.
Only 5 goals in 69 international games for Valderrama for Colombia, as Dooley will send it down to Wynalda. Reyna over to Cobi Jones on the far side. He played at UCLA. Very quick, fastest man on the U.S. squad. Well, coming up tonight on ABC at 7/6 Central Time, Tony Danza hosts a brand new Getting Over special, then a full hour of America's Funniest Home Videos at 7:30, 6:30 Central, followed by Clint Eastwood in the Sunday night movie Heartbreak Ridge. That's all tonight here on ABC. Over 10 minutes into the second half here from Rutgers Stadium. No score between the United States and Colombia, but the Colombians with a lot of pressure. Rincon sends it down the middle, and Lalas steals it away.
Good central defense by the USA. Lalas with the interception, but just as importantly, Balboa sweeping up behind him if that thing ever got through.
United States with a win or a tie today capture U.S. Cup 95.
Now this is where, excuse me, Roger, this is where the U.S. is having some problems. The last 3 times on the flanks, on the midfield transition to attack, Colombia has dropped a lot of players back. They're shutting down the alleys. They're cutting off those spaces that existed before, and that's why Steve Sampson feels he needs some speed up front to break it.
Arboleda sends it inside to Gomez, headed there by Harkes and cleared out. But the shot from outside by Santa and a weak effort, and Friedel comes up with it.
And also warming up now for Colombia is Freddie Leon, and this is a different kind of player. He's very, very, very quick, and he's going to cause some problems around the sides of the U.S. defense. And we'll see if he comes in for Arboleda.
Valderrama, and the battle there with Lalas, and Arboleda looking for the foul call, didn't get it, as Harkes will take it near side up to Wynalda. Reyna, nice touch to Dooley. Jones will take it. To Reyna, cleared out. Good defensive play, but Jones is able to get it back to John Harkes. He's got Wynalda in front of him. And Wynalda will pick it up here to Cobi Jones in the area. Jones trying to get around the corner and sent across the end line.
Goal kick.
They're going to give it a goal kick.
Yep. So Gomez will be going out. John Gomez, the man who has scored the only goal for Colombia in the U.S. Cup so far.
Hernan Gomez, the coach for Colombia, as Freddie Leon will come in, and John Jaime Gomez will check out. And there's Leon, number 17. United States trying to get organized. A little bit better that time, Seamus up the field, as Burns has it on the far side. Balboa, this is the time just to get organized for the United States team. Seen some different players for Colombia here in the second half.
Yep, and low pressure by Colombia. Now a little bit more high pressure by Leon as he comes in to try to win the ball early. But the United States finding it very difficult to get anybody open in the midfield.
Getting some boos from the crowd here as they'll send it back to Brad Friedel.
Well, I think, some fans may start to think now that the United States is playing for a tie, but I don't think that's what's happening here at all. I think it's Colombia has effectively dropped back and blocked a lot of spaces off, and there's not been enough movement by the U.S. players up front to get the ball moving forward. And now they've given the long ball, and as often happens with a long ball, they give it up.
Colombia trying to get the attack going, but Lalas is there. He's caused Arboleda some problems, and Burns will send the long ball downfield. Reyna going up for the header, but Mendoza was able to take it away, and Valderrama. Far side, and from behind, Balboa not looking, has it taken by Santa, and Marcelo gets it back, but sent across the far side of the U.S. ball.
Well, not looking is true, but also not helped out by a teammate. Your teammate has got to yell to you that somebody's closing in behind. Valderrama, you saw there in the screen again, coming very much into play now, dictating everything through the midfield again. And, the U.S. may be quite happy to have him on the ball as much because things become predictable, but he also has some ingenuity that could surprise them if they're not careful. Now look at Balboa looking up. Nobody tells him he's about to be dispossessed, and he looks around and says, hey, where did this guy come from?
Long ball over the head of Harkes.
Teammates.
Cabrera. It looked like Wynalda was right behind him and just didn't say anything.
Wynalda or Burns, I think, actually, back there. And although sometimes you yell and the crowd noise just drowns it out.
Helps if you have eyes in the back of your head. That's what it does. So the crowd getting a little testy here as Alvarez sends it over near side to Cabrera, number 13. Cabrera, 6 to Cabrera, and nice takeaway by Harkes. Wynalda there. United States trying to create something with Reyna in the middle. Back to Sorber. Wide to Cobi Jones. Jones trips momentarily, gets it back. And we'll send it back out to Burns over there, who gets it to Sorber. A lot of touches right now, and Reyna loses it, and they'll give it to Higuita. In the middle of the field, Freddie Leon, 17, comes to Rincon near side. Caligiuri back there. Harkes is back there. Rincon through twice. Some space. Dooley gets a foot, and then Balboa clears it out.
Well, we talked about those long strides of Freddie Rincon, and you saw why he's so dangerous, because he can not only move, but he can fake and deke his way through a defense. Beautiful play by Rincon.
Quickly back, the ball sent inside, and no one was there except Brad Friedel.
And Dooley with a good retreating run. Dooley playing a much more defensive role now in this half, Roger. You don't see Tom Dooley surging forward as much as we did in the first half. He's playing very much as a defensive midfielder in front of the back four, central, to cut out the central threat.
And right there, you're taking a look for the United States. Kirovski, who's getting set to come into the game. Jovan Kirovski.
Well, Jovan Kirovski is going to be interesting to see where he plays. But here comes Rincon again.
Arbolito gets it to Valderrama in the middle. Leon the shot. Friedel gets a hand on it. And Lalas clears it out. And Lalas arguing with the linesman that it should be a throw-in and not a corner. And Valderrama's going to come over and spot it for the corner.
But they're going to get a U.S. sub on first, as you're right. Claudio Reyna is going to come out. And Jovan Kirovski is going to go in.
So the youngster, Kirovski, will replace Claudio Reyna, who looked like he was struggling some toward the end of the first half. And it is going to be a throw-in now, not a corner.
Substitution for the USA.
Linesman has changed
in the
his decision.
minute.
As Cabrera will come over.
Number 15, Jovan Kirovski. Leaving the game is number 21, Claudio Reyna.
On a very humid day here, as Lalas battling, and some more words between Rincon and Alexi Lalas.
And they, of course, match up against each other in the Italian Serie A, because they have clashed when Napoli plays Padova. So there may be a little history there in that trash talk.
No score between the United States and Colombia, as now Valderrama is going to sit down waiting for the ball to be brought to him over in the corner. And they'll get the corner this time. The chip headed out by Lalas. Not much on that corner kick by Valderrama. Leon off the back there, and let's check in with Desmond Armstrong. Desmond?
Thank you, Roger. I'm down here with Claudio Reyna. A very eventful first half. Kind of muggy down here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the weather really, after the first 15 minutes, it just seemed like it turned up like 15 degrees, and everyone felt that. You could tell the game had slowed down quite a bit from the first 20 minutes, but, you know, chances are going to come for both teams, and the winner's going to make...
Ball inside, the shot over the top.
It's the one who doesn't make mental errors like we almost did, but, you know, it's right now it's really a mental game.
Thank you very much.
All right, Desmond, the corner kick taken there, and a dangerous situation, but the United States able to avert that, as Chris Henderson getting set to come into the game for Tom Dooley.
Now, this is an interesting phenomenon. Chris Henderson does not play anything like the role that Tom Dooley does. So we'll have to see who goes back to play in there in that central defensive role.
All right, Desmond.
Well, my final question was, why did you come out? Do you think it was a fatigue factor?
Yeah, I think fatigue. They want to get some fresh legs in there, especially up front. We need at least one guy coming in. Frank and I, you know, we did a lot of running in the first half, and now hopefully Jovan and Eric can create something for us. But yeah, the weather's definitely a factor right now.
Okay, thank you very much. Back to you, Roger.
Okay, thank you, Desmond. Claudio Reyna with no shots on goal. Of course, he had such a terrific game against Mexico with 2 assists and then the goal in the second half. So Henderson, who's basically a free agent and hasn't really seen a lot of playing time for the United States recently, is getting a chance here in the second half.
He's been playing some in Germany of late, and I was talking to Chris yesterday, and he said in many ways he wished he had gone to Germany earlier. He stayed in camp in Mission Viejo and felt that he would have been doing better playing in the pro league in Germany.
Rincon trying to set it down offside. And let's check in with Desmond once again.
Roger, I'm down with Thomas Dooley, who just came off also. Thomas, would you say you were fatigued in this game?
Say it again.
Were you fatigued? Were you tired?
No, I mean, I have a problem since last December with my foot. And the last 3-4 games in Germany, I had still a problem. And every time when I train, I feel pain in my ankle. And I twisted a little bit in the first half. And so we put some ice in the halftime. I said I'd try it maybe 5-10 minutes and then we go.
Wouldn't you say that the substitutions that came in, you're playing for a win in this game?
Of course we play for a win, but maybe when the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's still 0-0. We try to keep this and keep the ball and try to play tie. You know, it's very important that we play tie or win these games, and we want to win this trophy.
Very good. Good luck to you. Thank you. Back to you, Roger.
Thank you, Desmond. Wynalda has it now. United States pressuring Colombia, no score here, and taken off the ball. Cabrera sent Wynalda down. Freddie Leon being chased by Harkes on the near side, and Leon goes down hard. And Harkes has got his hands up, and he's going to get a yellow card.
Harkes definitely hacking away with his right foot
now.
But
Cabrera pushing Harkes. Now Harkes and Cabrera having some words and shoving.
I think Harkes, the way the head, Freddie Leon's head shot back, it looked like he was whacked in the head. But there's the name going in the book. But I gotta say that was a very tough challenge by Johnny Harkes, and a rather, understandably, he made the tackle a hard one because he felt that Wynalda had not gotten justice, so he gets the yellow card. Let's see if he comes in high here. Well, certainly Leon's head goes back. You can't quite see what happened there just at the end, but no doubt about the yellow card and the warning therefore given to Harkes, so he's now playing with a yellow.
So, been a lot of physical contact, a few words exchanged between these two teams today, and we are scoreless here at Rutgers Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey, as the ball comes across the near side touchline. And there is the future, one of the future stars of U.S. soccer, Jovan, who is 19 years of age from Escondido, California, but plays on the reserve team for Manchester United and attends high school, Seamus, over in England.
Right, he's having a tremendous education in the game with United.
Rincon now takes the ball from Caligiuri. The ball is able to recover as Valderrama sends it inside, and Carlos Valderrama gets it back. Cabrera has been causing some problems. Out on top. That was Alvarez who has it taken away from him, and now here comes Wynalda in the middle, being chased by Santa from behind, as Henderson, wearing number 7, moves down the near side, and then will send the ball inside off the head. Wynalda was there, and almost some beautiful work. Boy, working together nicely there, Kirovski and Wynalda.
Well, and a lot of credit to Jones, who made a cross-field run from his right to his left side, and that opened up the space for Kirovski to run into and try to serve Wynalda in the screen there. That could have been the game winner right there.
Steve Sampson thought they had a goal. Wynalda's had 2 shots on goal today.
Both with his head. But this is a great ball from Henderson all the way across. Nice serve back to Kirovski, and the defender coming in there, I think, just managed to distract Wynalda a little bit in his header. Otherwise, it would have been down towards the ground, which is what you want.
Henderson sliding into it, and it's off Leon across the near side, and the United States will have a throw-in. There's Eric Wynalda. That's why he shaved his head. You know that, Seamus, so he could be better in the air.
Well, maybe he's jumping too high or something, but he's certainly not getting over the top of the ball. But in excellent position, and he's got great competitive hunger for scoring, does Eric Wynalda.
Cobi Jones working on Santa, and Santa with a good job there. Santa's very quick. Santa wearing number 2.
Look at Freddie Rincon coming all the way back from midfield. Looking for Valderrama. Can they find him? There he is.
And Valderrama sends it to the far side. Santa to Arboleta. And Lalas right there with the tackle. Santa will take the throw in. Alexi Lalas, who will be playing with his band tonight at a local club here. Cabrera, Rincon. Say that Colombia's had the best of the attacking style here in the second half. There's Arboleta with a chance here. Arboleta, and Burns that time doing the job on him as Cobi Jones will send it downfield. This segment of the game is presented commercial free by GTE. And warming up on the sideline, Fernández, number 20, getting set to check into the game for Arboleta. So the Colombians about to make another change.
And this is their 4th. So this will be their last substitution.
And that's happening right now.
So they have changed their 2 attackers. Quinones and Leon are now the 2 strikers after Arboleda and Gomez have been taken out. And that represents a threat to the U.S. New legs against somewhat tired defenders.
Chris Henderson chasing it down, and there's Quinones, the man who just checked into the game. Fresh legs for Colombia. Henderson battling. Looked like he might have caught an elbow from Quinones there. Scoreless here at Rutgers between the United States and Colombia. The U.S. has scored 7 goals in their last 2 games. As Valderrama is able to keep about 3 players away from him, Santa will get it back to Valderrama. Always seems like there's 3 players around Valderrama. A strong battle there with Burns. As Quinones, the shot, and Friedel right on it. Sorber was right in front of Quinones that time, and Friedel had an easy chance. Wynalda giving chase to the long ball down the near side, and he slips. Well, it seems to be affecting the United States players more than the Colombian players. But the U.S. gets a corner out of that situation. As Eric Wynalda, and we heard Sampson say Wynalda to the top. Eric Wynalda with the corner kick. Balboa going up, and Higuita got a hand on it. Boy, Higuita came out that time as Burns will send a high ball inside. Higuita just got a fist on it. Wynalda chases it down with Rincon on him. Chips it inside. Balboa's there. Ball's loose. Oh, goodness. Henderson slipped and fell as he was trying to come back to that ball, and Henderson is down. Now he's getting back up.
Henderson caught a little bit off balance by that when the cross came over and lost his footing, but a good piece of play by Higuita on the first time, and not a great place on second.
Jovan in midfield, just in front of you. Eric up top. Come here.
Injured player down for the Colombians. That's Alex Mendoza.
I think what he's trying to get, what Steve Sampson's trying to get John Harkes to do is to get John Harkes to run midfield. Tom Dooley has gone out. This is the Tom Dooley's absence represents a big gap in the middle of midfield. So Johnny Harkes looks like he's going in to play that role, but he still wants Eric up top. He kept saying Eric up top.
I think
in the midfield now, but you know what? You must be pressing. Bring up the ball. Keep pushing guys off the ball. Okay?
We mentioned young Kirovski coming in.
I believe Mendoza cut his head as they went up. He banged heads with somebody, and they are treating him right now. They have one of the paramedics out there. So we've got stoppage time.
Wynalda.
There's like an elbow, maybe.
Yeah, the clash of. In here is where we had the clash between Balboa and Mendoza. And I think you're right, Roger. I think his elbow was up a bit and caught him on the side or back of the head. There's the cross coming in again. Now we'll get a good look at here. Up goes the elbow. You see his elbow up high, and yes, I think either the elbow or his forehead. And whacks into Mendoza. But he turns around quickly first to see if the ball is played away safely. So he's not suffering from any kind of unconsciousness or anything like that, loss of consciousness.
Let's check in with Desmond.
Well, Steve Sampson's basically told the American team, Eric Wynalda in particular, to stay higher. He's also told Jovan Kirovski to move back into the midfield to get the ball, to play it to Wynalda, and to have all the midfield players move up offensively. They're really pushing for this win. They're not going to sit back for a tie.
All right, thank you very much. Now, a situation for Colombia, if in fact Alexis Mendoza cannot continue, and they've got him on the stretcher, Seamus, and they've got, you can see the straps around his leg. Now, they've already substituted.
That's it. They can't bring. They're down to 10 players. They cannot bring in a player now. They've used their 4 substitutes, so they have to play with 10.
And the Colombian coach, Hernan Gomez, has got a problem at the moment, as they have taken now Mendoza behind the Colombian goal. Now they're getting him up.
It looks like he wants to come back on the field.
Yes, it does. And play has started. So we've had some stoppage time, as unofficially a little over 12 minutes left to go. The United States and Colombia scoreless here. The U.S. with the winner of tie captures U.S. Cup 95. The Colombians need a victory. 3 points for a win, 1 for a tie. So if the Colombians beat the United States, they capture U.S. Cup 95. And the U.S. back in control. Mike Burns on the far side with Cobi Jones on the far wing. Kirovski out in front of him. Jones showing his quickness, trying to get it inside, and it's kicked away. Yeah, it's going to be a corner across the end line.
Now the injured player is coming back on. Mendoza's coming back on. The referee is going to check him out first to be sure there's no bleeding showing, and there isn't, so he's going to come back and play.
Good crowd here today at Rutgers Stadium, renovated Rutgers Stadium. Close to 40,000. Wynalda on the corner, low ball that is headed out there by Alvarez. Sorber took a blast. Sorber tries again. Ball's on the ground. Jones sends it out to Wynalda, who comes running in inside. Oh, nearly the head there. Sorber let it go by, and Henderson cannot control it. And Cabrera will send it downfield to Freddie Leon. Caligiuri back. Now to Valderrama, but Lalas gets back in position.
There's Mendoza back in. It's good to see him back in the game. Hate to see a team reduced to 10 players. Matches up and down to this. Gomez obviously much more happy now. But what a strange sort of cross from Wynalda there. I don't know if he was trying to shoot that or just mishit it, but that was a very difficult driven ball across the box. His approach onto it was terrific. It was really intense and aggressive. But his finishing pass into the middle was anything but accurate.
Official attendance today, 36,126. So a good crowd of about 38,000 in Washington last Sunday. Good crowd here at Rutgers today. And some of the whistles and the jeers going on. These teams have tried to score, as Caligiuri is able to elude the tackle with Freddie Leon, and will send it back to Friedel. Now, is this decision time, Seamus, in the scope of the United States playing for the tie or continuing to go for the win?
It certainly has the look of that. We're down to under 10 minutes to go with, of course, some time added on for the treatment of Mendoza's injury. But it looks as though they're quite, I wouldn't say content, but certainly going to take their time before they commit lots of players forward. And in fact, they're really only playing with one person up front. That's Wynalda, because Kirovski's dropped off into midfield.
Oh, Henderson had the steal there as Caligiuri chases it down and will send it back down the way of Chris Henderson. Henderson from Everett, Washington. And we're at Rutgers Stadium, Piscataway, New Jersey. Final game of U.S. Cup 95. And the United States and Colombia scoreless at the moment. The U.S. with a win or a tie capture this title. I'm Roger Twyville, along with Seamus Mallon and national team player Desmond Armstrong on the sideline. Wynalda going for Cobi Jones. Cobi gets high in the air that time. Balboa gets a piece of it. Kirovski was coming in on it, and Higuita came out to get it.
Very strange ball played in by Wynalda in the sense that Cobi Jones ended up being at the end of it, and he's not the tallest player, but he won the header.
Eric, who plays in the Bundesliga for Bochum, originally from Fullerton, California. Had 12 goals over in Germany in '94, didn't have a goal this year. As Leon runs onto the ball, takes the shot, swerving, and Friedel comes up with it. Friedel was telling me this particular ball they're using does some strange things at times, and he says you have to be prepared for it to come in like a knuckleball in baseball.
Yeah, a number of the players have said that. I think they've made some change in the ball since they first observed that, but I think it's still causing a few problems. But Leon, dangerous as he runs forward there, and the U.S., as we mentioned earlier, looking as though they want to be sure they give up nothing and keep possession as much as possible, and maybe draw Colombia forward and break their defensive discipline a little bit so you can get through with a counterattack. But this obviously is just taking time off the clock with under 7 minutes to go in regulation time before we get into time added on for injury treatment.
Well, in the second half, we've had a cloud cover here. The sun hasn't been out as much. It's cooled off a little bit, but the humidity in the first half really took its toll. But we're at that point now, and Steve Sampson told us earlier in the interview he would go out to win this game, but then they would get to a certain point and wait and see about the tie.
Yeah.
Now, Friedel, long ball downfield, and Wynalda tried to come up with it. Henderson takes the blast from outside and over the top.
Yeah, a referee has the right to make a decision that a goalkeeper is deliberately stalling the game and is engaged in what is called in the old rules ungentlemanly conduct or unsportsmanlike conduct, and he can blow a whistle and give an indirect free kick.
Bad ball by Freddie Leon as he was trying to find Rincon and sent it behind him, and so the United States will just move it around very casually at the moment. Ball Caligiuri. Now going downfield, Wynalda trying to go up for it. Right there with him was Bermúdez. As you see the shots on goal, 10 for each team. Freddie Rincon. And going down the near side, Cabrera. It's Quinones who gets it back. Quinones very dangerous on the wing. Beautiful move past Caligiuri, Valderrama, and the ball inside. Quinones kept running as Valderrama had his idea about getting it to him, and Friedel was able to come out and get it.
But Valderrama, again, in very good support positions. He is 33 years old, but he does zoom forward to support the quicker player, Leon. So Leon isn't isolated. He offers himself as a passing target, and he almost broke him in through. He's such a good reader of the game, Valderrama, and such a delicate passer.
You saw the captain's band on his left arm. Valderrama, the captain today of the Colombian team, the most experienced in international play. This is 69th international appearance for Colombia. As once again, the U.S. will just knock it back in as the clock continues to count down to the 90-minute mark. We've had some time for stoppage here in the second half as Kirovski will send it to Harkes, who gets it to Cobi Jones. Now Jones bringing it up on the wing. Going inside as Higuita will come out and get it. And we've been told that Brian Bliss, a defender for the United States, is up and getting ready to check into the game. There's Bliss, number 3.
For Paul Caligiuri, we were told, and I think that's got to be a tiredness factor. Paul Caligiuri has had a tremendous game for the United States, played very good defense, and he's coming out for, I think, much needed rest.
So Brian Bliss, number 3, will come in for Paul Caligiuri. Bliss, 29 years of age, from Rochester, New York, plays in the German 2nd division at Charles Jenna. So Bliss has checked into the game, some fresh legs on the defense. And Wynalda sends it back to Harkes and Kirovski. That's Bliss right there. One of Seamus's favorite players, same sort of hairdo.
He actually played in Southern Connecticut State, too. New England boy.
Let's go down and check in with Desmond.
Down here with Paul Caligiuri, wanted to find out why you came out of the game.
I think it was a tactical move, put a little fresh body in. I think Brian Bliss, he's a very energetic person, so as you know, he runs a lot, and we need to hold the tie, and I think that's the main reason.
Well, for the fresh legs, I would say you're going for the win, wouldn't you say?
Well, I think a win would, of course, excite the fans a little bit more, but a tie obviously wins the tournament, so we have to play smart as well.
Back to you, Raj.
Thank you, Desmond. Minutes remaining as Rincon will throw it in. Ball goes through. Henderson slides onto it. And Bliss traps it with his foot at midfield and will send a long ball down in toward Higuita.
Bad decision by Brian Bliss, and Michael Sorber lets him know it because he essentially gave the ball back to
look where Higuita has moved up to.
Yeah, this is more the old Higuita. We haven't seen much of that.
Lalas chasing the ball back off his head as Burns from Marlborough, Massachusetts will chase it down. And Friedel now with a dangerous situation with Freddie Leon and has to send it across the far side touchline. Yeah. And a throw in for Colombia.
Well, you know, Brad Friedel is not René Higuita when it comes to this kind of thing.
Higuita is all the way up towards midfield, about 15 yards on the other side of midfield, as winding down to the 90-minute mark with some stoppage time here. No score between the United States and Colombia. A tie will win U.S. Cup 95 for the United States. Colombia needs a win to capture the title. Burns gets control of it and will send it to Wynalda, who's tackled from behind.
A good run by Eric Wynalda here. He ran across the defender, knowing that he would either get away if the defender pulled out or draw a foul if the defender kept coming. And of course that stops the ball, stops the play, gives it back to the United States and lets them have possession, take some more time off the clock as we're just about into the 90th minute and waiting for, then we'll see how much time the referee adds on for the injury treatment. Friedel has only been tested really once or twice. So that one you have to make it with a two saves
in the first half,
where he really had to move quickly to get from once with a foot and once with his left hand. But the second half, he's not had too much to do.
Rincon will send it to Cabrera. Unofficially, we have it about 3.5 to 4 minutes left in this game. As Valderrama to Cabrera, back to Quinones. The ball loose right there, and Bliss sends it out. And no, the referee says play on, no foul there. And quickly, Rincon throws it in. Valderrama. Quinones, number 20, goes past Bliss, and they're trying to get it back to him. And Balboa with the sliding tackle over the end line. And the Colombians putting on a lot of pressure here, Seamus.
With a lot of speed, and some of the American man-to-man marking, as it were, or even zonal marking, whatever kind of marking, falling apart a little bit there as Valderrama was doing very well, but other players, speedy players, were getting open.
Past the 90-minute mark, so we had some stoppage time here in the second half. Steve Sampson looking at his watch as Freddie Leon will take the corner for Colombia. High ball going back. Balboa gets a head on it and headed out by Harkes across the end line, and another corner kick. Getting very dangerous here. No score between the United States and Colombia.
Very difficult to get a good, strong header on a ball on goal with that kind of corner kick, Roger, because the ball was floated. And the ball is driven a bit more, then you can really use the power of the ball to to flash it into the net, but this one was more difficult.
Leon once again with the corner. A little more foot on it. Balboa got it up. The head off the post right there by Burns. Goodness sakes alive. Mike Burns was right there on the near post and sent it over the top. Wow.
Well, that was a perfect example of a beautifully driven corner kick.
And that's it. What a save by Burns there at the end. Helping out. Hugs all around. And the United States and Colombia play to a 0-0 tie. And that means the U.S. wins U.S. Cup 95.
Well, what a way to end it. They didn't beat Higuita. He had one great save that didn't matter, but it was an incredible finish for the United States with Mike Burns being the hero of the moment on the goal line, because that looked like it was definitely goal bound. But this great header by Bermúdez, and there is
that looked like it
right
had a good chance, didn't it,
yep.
Seamus? So Bermúdez with the header off the corner by Leon, and Burns in there helping Friedel out as the U.S. and Colombia play to a 0-0 tie. The final game of U.S. Cup 95, and for the United States in the brief 3-year history, this is their second U.S. Cup title as they play to a tie with Colombia, but that's all they needed today to win U.S. Cup 95, and this is a day when a tie feels like a win. Let's check in with Desmond Armstrong. Desmond?
Well, I'm down here with the celebrating team, the USA. Alan Rothenberg beside me. You have a presentation you want to make to the captain of the team, John Harkes.
John, nothing makes me happier than to give that U.S. Cup trophy to the USA, Captain Johnny Harkes.
How are you? Thank you very much. And I'd just like to say on behalf of the United States, way to go, boys.
Harksy, now that you guys have won this cup, your career has been tremendous. You played up, I mean, you grew up in this area, having seen the Cosmos. Would you like to come back and play in the MLS and play professional soccer in your hometown, in your home country?
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, I think that's everybody wants to come back to the States and play. And with support like this, you know, why not? We'd love to get a league going here, and we'd like to come back. And I'd like to thank Tad Ramos because his hair never moved today.
Well, what does it mean to win this tournament right here?
It means everything, because after the World Cup we played so well, and you know, there was high expectations for us coming in this summer as well, and all the boys came back together, and now you know, to bring, you know, great results like we had throughout this game. I mean, seven goals throughout the whole tournament. Everybody's excited, and the USA is very happy for us. So,
well, congratulations. I'm gonna throw it back up to Roger.
All right, Cindy.
All right, Desmond, thank you very much. So Seamus, with the tie today, the win of U.S. Cup 95, how does the world, or maybe more importantly, the region that the United States competes in, looks at this result?
Well, I think this is a very important result because everybody knew what the last USA-Colombia match was all about. And sure, it had overtures of tragedy and so forth, but it still was basically a huge upset of a major power. Now the question is, can they do it again? Well, they didn't win it, but they really pushed Colombia to the brink, and even though 0-0 ties are often the nemesis of soccer, in this particular game there's a lot of action in the first half in particular, and the U.S. showed that it has the skill and the ability to go attack, and also that it now has the skill to hold on when they need to. In the past, that wasn't the case.
United States with the 7 points, Colombia 2 ties, and they only scored 1 goal in this competition. And then Mexico, who came back with a victory yesterday, and Nigeria, which really, I think, Seamus, didn't have a representative team from their World Cup 94 team, did not win a game. Let's go check back in with Desmond. Des?
Down here with Alexi Lalas. Alexi, congratulations on the victory. And what does this tournament mean to you?
Oh, man, it's great to come back to the States, play this well. I'm real happy for Steve Sampson. I'm so proud of everything that we did this tournament. It's great going into the Copa America, man. It just feels really good to take a little piece of what happened last summer and bring it back this summer.
Also, we just found out that you have signed for the MLS. Obviously, having the opportunity to play professional soccer at home, playing on your home turf here at Rutgers University, you've got to be elated.
I mean, look at this, man. These people here, they deserve professional soccer. And if I can, do my part and come back and play here, man, I'm going to do it, because when I'm done, when my career's over, I want to leave something here so that a lot of the up-and-coming players don't have to go through all the crap that we went through.
Well, you almost went to blows out there with Freddie Rincon. Were there some words exchanged? Obviously, you guys have seen each other in the professional league over in Italy.
Yeah, he was screaming to me in Italian. I was screaming back in Italian. Then he'd come back in Spanish. Then I'd go back in Greek. And then finally we just went into English. And basically, I can't translate any of it.
Well, where's your band playing tonight? I know that you're a rocker,
goodness.
so where are you going tonight?
We're going to have a bash tonight over at the Roxy in New Brunswick. So anybody that's in New Jersey, come on out, man. Just to wind this wonderful tournament down and just have a big old party.
All right, thank you again. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, thank you very much, Desmond. He is unique. He's a walking soundbite, and he just doesn't want to jerk for a coach. That's the bottom line. Seamus, he brought up Copa America, and that's the next big event for the United States starting July 8th down in Uruguay. And they play Chile, Bolivia, and Argentina. And we're going to get a lot of questions answered down there.
Well, the Copa America is a very important tournament in the world of soccer, and particularly in Latin America. It's played every 2 years. All the Latin American countries play, all the South American countries play, and now they've added Mexico and they've added the U.S. as they did last time around. So it's a great privilege to be added to a very traditional, high-quality tournament, and that will be a very tough challenge for them down there in Uruguay.
Okay, Seamus, and coming up here on ABC Sports, want to remind you we've got boxing coming your way. Former champ Roger Mayweather meeting undefeated title holder Costa Yazoo. And we'll be right back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.